no one behind in the realm of education. PWD and vulnerable population are entitled to equal right in education. This is not solely a matter of justice. It represents an investment in our shared future. I hope that this event serves as a dynamic platform fostering collaboration among educators, TVET providers, and industries. Through the exchange of best practices, both domestically and internationally, I trust that professional relationship will be nurtured for the mutual benefit of participating organizations. Persons with disabilities and vulnerable groups encounter marginalization within mainstream education and training framework, encountering barriers stemming from economic, social, and geographic disparities, physical disabilities, and other specific constraints. Challenges faced by individuals, particularly school dropouts, who are further deprived of formal vocational training opportunities as a secondary level education, attain serve as near prerequisite for entry into such formal training programs. It's quite long text, this text actually. Ladies and gentlemen, Malaysia has achieved notable advancement in the development of TVET, aiming to enhance educational quality and create high-income opportunities for studies, for students and workers belonging to persons with disabilities and vulnerable groups. The recent national budget allocated under the Ministry of Higher Education include 5 million ringgit for PWDs, indigenous people, single mothers, and senior citizens, specifically designed for lifelong learning programs facilitated by 105 community colleges. Additionally, each public university has received 1 million ringgit Malaysia to strengthen community empowerment and rehab initiative. In light of these endeavors, it is hoped that today's symposium leave everyone, at the very least, with a strengthened belief to do more. The insights derived from the symposium are anticipated to contribute valuable perspective to the Ministry for the planning and implementation of effective programs catering to the needs of PWDs and vulnerable population in the future. In closing, I would like to congratulate all parties involved for successful execution of this symposium. The collaborative endeavor demonstrated is truly commendable. Sabas dan tahniah. With the lafaz Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I do declare the TVET Symposium, Pandemic Aftermath, Disability, Inclusion and Equitable Quality in TVET Ecosystem officially open. Sekian, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you to Dr. Haji Muhammad Zahari for your encouraging words. We would like to request for Dr. Haji Muhammad Zahari to remain on the stage for our next agenda. With that, we would like to invite all of our distinguished guests yang berbahagia, Profesor Datuk Seri Insinyur Dr. Abdul Rahman, Yang Berusaha Teknologi Zainab binti Usman, Yang berbahagia Profesor Datuk Teknologis Dr. Abdul Khalil, and Yang Berusaha Dr. Riam Anak Perempuan Chai Mai to join Dr. Haji Muhammad Zahari on the stage for the gimmick launch to commence this momentous occasion of Symposium TVET 2023. We would like to welcome Dr. Haji Muhammad Zahari to initiate the gimmick launch. The stage is yours, sir. Thank you to all of our distinguished guests for commencing the gimmick launch. We would like to request for all of our guests to remain on the stage for the next agenda. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the next highlight of today's program, the Memorandum of Understanding MOU Document Exchange Ceremony. This is a moment of significance as we witness the formalization of partnership between the Department of Polytechnic and Community College Education, JPPKK, and Universiti Sains Malaysia, USM. It symbolizes the strength of shared visions and collective action between JPPKK and USM. With that, we would like to welcome Yang Berusaha Dr. Haji Muhammad Zahari bin Ismail, Director General, Polytechnic and Community College Education, Ministry of Higher Education, on behalf of JPPKK, and Yang Berbahagia, Professor Datuk Seri Insinyur Dr. Abdul Rahman bin Muhammad, Vice Chancellor, Universiti Sains Malaysia, on behalf of USM, to continue with the MOU document exchange session. Please welcome. On that note, our Memorandum of Understanding MOU document exchange ceremony has come to an end. We would like to request for all of our distinguished guests to remain on the stage for a photo session. Ladies and gentlemen, you are not to be excluded. To celebrate this moment, we would like to invite all of our distinguished guests and audience for a photo session together. Now, please join us as we please join us for the photo session, and we would like to invite all our distinguished guests together with our audience for a photo session. 1, 2, the biggest smile, ladies and gentlemen. The biggest, the brightest, the most beautiful smile. 1, 2, and 3. All right. The biggest smile. Next, can I see a hand movement? A thumbs up, perhaps. Perhaps you want to wave, the one at the back? No problem. Thank you so much, everyone. On that note, we conclude the opening ceremony of the Symposium TVET 2023. We would like to announce the departure of our distinguished guests for a walkabout around the exhibition area. Thank you so much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are now transitioning to the next agenda of this morning, which is the town hall session. Before that, allow me to brief on the tentative of this morning, as we are scheduled for a jam-packed and rewarding segment all throughout this morning. Following the town hall session, we are going to move on to our next agenda, which is the breakout room session. This will commence until 11:45 a.m. with 3 breakout rooms discussing groundbreaking topics. We will then regroup back to this hall at around 12 p.m. in the afternoon for a winding up speech and closing ceremony of Symposium TVET 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, we also would like to invite you to please help yourself to the refreshments and beverages available throughout the program. With that, it's a great honour to pass the stage to Yang Berusaha Dr. Hajah Salmi binti Cik Meh, Director Polytechnic Balik Pulau, Ministry of Higher Education, to moderate the town hall session. Please welcome, and we'll see you all this afternoon. Thank you so much.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to the distinguished guests, invited speakers, ladies and gentlemen. Before we start with our panel discussion session, I would like to invite Dr. Kim, Puan Marlin, and technologist Haji Rumzi to the stage to join me here, please. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the theme that has been chosen for today's session is Pandemic Aftermath, Disability Inclusion, and Equitable Quality Education in TVET Ecosystem. Now, according to the World Health Organization 2020, 15% of the world's population, or an estimated 1 billion people, live with some form of disability. Of this number, there are approximately 785 million persons with disability who constitute a significant pool of human resources in the world. Now, to date, the exact number of PWDs in Malaysia is still unknown. However, the government's conservative estimate puts it at 4.86 million, including 580,633 who are registered under the Department of Social Welfare as of 30th of June 2021. Now, workforce participation among PWDs is reportedly still low, with approximately 5,500 workers with disabilities in public and private sectors. Under the Vocational Education Transformation Plan introduced in 2012 and the 12th Malaysia Plan, the government recognizes TVET as part of the mainstream education in the country. for Malaysia to become a fully industrialized developed country, more skills and future resilient TVET graduates are required to join the local workforce. In a similar vein, TVET programs are essential to promote the inclusion of people with disabilities and ensure their equal access to higher education and employment opportunities. However, the COVID-19 pandemic has brought about immensely negative social and economic impacts on the societies worldwide. If the general population has been adversely affected, one cannot imagine the grave repercussions of the pandemic risks on the disabled population, including the disabled people, stateless people, disadvantaged group, and rural community. Gaps and challenges in the TVET ecosystem for PWD that existed before the pandemic are growing. Hence, it is very crucial to address TVET and disability issues to ensure equitable and quality education for PWD, therefore, increase their resilience and employability. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here today to share our ideas in this particular platform on the current situation and future pathways towards inclusion of persons with disability and equal and quality education in Tibet. Now, we are indeed very grateful to have with us today 3 prominent speakers who are here to share their insights on this topic. Let me introduce our panels of experts. The first one is Dr. Yang Sai Kim. He holds the position of Secretariat General, East Asian Summit, TVET Cooperation Network, Senior Fellow at TVET Sejong Korea, Academic Board Members at Korea Employment and Career Association. And as for his academic background, he was conferred with the Doctor of Education in Organization and Leadership Department, Human Resource from Columbia University, New York, USA. Dr. Kim has vast experience in various fields, including policy expert on national skills strategies and SMEs development for Presidential Council for National Competitiveness of Korea Government. He's also the adjunct professor and lecturer at Seoul National University, Yuha Women's University, Konkuk University, Korea University, and also Kyunghee Universities. Dr. Kim has a lot of research being published, especially in books and journals on various fields at national and international levels. He was also involved in international projects such as UNESCO Bear Project for Zambia. Our second speaker is Puan Marlene Ahmad Nordin. Puan Marlene is the Executive Vice President, Strategic Recruitment Group Human Capital for Maybank. She is a strong banking professional with career span of over 30 years in global companies such as American Express, HSBC, and Maybank. She is highly versatile with proven track in diverse leadership roles in product management, marketing, human resource management, and more. An energetic and articulate communicator, Puan Marlene is passionate in driving position customer experience and building great business relationships. In her current role, she manages the search for C-level and strategic hires for the bank. Prior to this, she was the head of Group Recruitment Center for Maybank, where she drives the talent acquisition strategies from internship, graduate recruitment, through to management positions for the bank. Puan Marlene has an MBA and Bachelor of Science in Business Finance from California State University, Bakersfield, and Fresno. She is a certified mental health first aider. All right, coming to our third speaker, technologist Haji Romzi bin Mamat. Technologist Haji Romzi bin Mamat is the Deputy Director General Planning at the Department of Polytechnic and Community College Education, Ministry of Higher Education, Malaysia. Technologist Haji Romzi has vast experience in TVET in Malaysia and expert in curriculum development, industry collaboration, policy making, planning, and national physical development. He has held numerous posts, including Principal Assistant Director, Senior Principal Assistant Director, Director in various institutions in Putrajaya, Sarawak, Johor, as well as at the headquarters. Alongside his duties on the National Higher Education Review Committee, he is the Malaysian focal point for Senior Official Member of Education in the Asian TVET Council, and he is actively involved in physical development management, rebranding, and policy making at the Asian level. As for his education, Technologist Haji Romdi was granted Petronas sponsorship and received a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering from the University of Texas at El Paso, USA, Masters of Science in Environmental Science Education from the University of Southampton, United Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, let's proceed to what the speakers has to share with us. Okay, we are going to start with Dr. Kim. Dr. Kim will be sharing his thoughts on the topic of inclusive TVET education and international experiences empowering persons with disabilities and stateless individuals in Korea. Please welcome Dr. Kim.
Okay, I think this is better for me. Okay, I want to share some Korean cases, how Korean government and school have PWD for their skill development and for lifelong competency. Okay, we need to look at the statistics first. I don't have enough time, thus I will skip. Actually, when you look at the number of the disability student in Korea, it's increasing because actually not the number of students increasing because we are more aware of the disability. That's why the number is increasing now. You can see it's over 100,000 students study in Korea with the disability, and most of them, they are study at the normal school, vocational school or normal school, but only 10% they are study at a special school for disability. Okay, when you look at the university enrollment rate, actually the student with the disability, around 22%, they enrolled in university education, but the other student, the non-disabled student, about 72%, they enrolled study in university. And I think this is very important information because the employment rate of a student with a disability, when they just finish their study at the high school, only 21% have successfully have a job in Korea. But when they have a degree, higher education, more than 50% have a good job in Korea. This means a lot because when we have the student with a disability study at the university, successfully finish their study, then they can have a almost same job, just like a non-disability student. Because we need to have the student to study more in higher education. Okay, this is a path of on-the-job training and employment support student with a disability. This is for the TVET. Actually, in the school, they need to identify student with a disability, and then human rights and safety, health, job, knowledge training provided at the same time, and request on the on-the-job training because school do not have a facility equipment for the on-the-job training. Thus, on-the-job training organization, we have two. Korean Employment Agency for person with a disability, and then the other one is Korea Disabled Student Development Institute. They provide different OJT. Actually, if they have more serious disability, I think CODI will take, and then KD is another they provide. And the local government also, they have a vocational rehabilitation facility for the disabled person. And then school will provide on-the-job training evaluation. After then, school provide evaluation, and then they will have enrollment, and then for the career development process. Okay, this is the organization Career Exploration Program. Career Exploration Program, very important, because disabled students do not have good information about their future, their career possibilities. Thus, we need to provide more information to help them to have a larger information about their career development. Thus, the first one is evaluation. They need to evaluate their job and career awareness, and then evaluation and job search. business tour, senior officer worker mentoring, and then they have a preparation program. This is real Tibet. The social adaptation and business training, and then strengthening employment capability. Because they have to go through all the interview and then procurement, the recruitment process. Thus, you need to look at all the process. This is a 3-step. Okay, and then we have a specialized vocational competency development institute, KDA. It's offer technical training university required to certain industry, and then offer training program to satisfy the needs of different disability, and then offer training support program for design to enhance basic competency and skill development. As you see, their skill training is more like a 3D printing, big data, drone, and smart electronics, more like a fourth industrial revolution skills. When we getting into fourth industrial revolution more, disability person can have more opportunity because technology do not discriminate disabled person. When they have intelligence, when they have some functional things, they can use their functions in this kind of technology because they don't need to use whole body. There are some disabled students have very good intelligence or achieving academic achievement, then they can have a good opportunity. And then this is a location of that institute. More than 16 located all over the Korea. You know, this is Korea, yeah, the map. Okay, this is a basic the training program. First one is a basic learning, the reading and writing numeracy. And then second one is strengthening self-determination, independence, and social competence, and presentation, and communication, and self-management. And second one is a basic training. It's a hand skill and ability to use tools, understanding, collaborative work skill, and life training, social adaptation, community service, traffic safety, leisure, and understanding economic and finance. Lastly, the environment adaptation, operating realistic experience with the OJT and the real workplace learning. Okay, this is one of the example of the program of one of center. Okay, this the Vocational Competency Development Institute provide government funding and then provision training allowance, and then they provide meal and accident insurance because they are vulnerable for the accident. They provide insurance and medical support and placement and guide for post-employment adaptation. If they are not able to adapt to the one place, they need to provide another opportunity. Okay, and then this is very interesting point. Actually, we have a skill competition for PWDS because skill competition is very important component to sharpen their skills. You know, Korea is very strong in world skill. And then Korea very strong in the world skill with the disability. Thus, this is an opportunity to provide more skill opportunity, and then the employer can identify their practical skills throughout this skill development, the skill competition. And this is another customized training operation process. Actually, the PWD, their condition, body condition, and their ability is quite different by individual. Thus, we need to make it customized. Thus, we provide this kind of customized process and subsidy and all together. Okay, next one is I want to go to the technology possibility because technology can really help the disabled student to work, to study better. This is one of the examples. This is one of the startup in Korea. The name is Emocog. Thus they said, they claim we develop digital therapeutic for patients with the neurodegenerative disease. There are so many students, and then the old people, they have this suffering this issue. Thus, when they use this software program, they can enhance the cognitive improvement like this. Thus, technology can provide better training than any school program. Thus, they developing this system. Actually, they say software as a medical device. Software as a medical device, enhance early cognitive decline. And then conversation-based interfacing and accurate assessment. And then they provide the individual customized solution. Okay, next one is, this is a wheelchair with some devices. Can I see this video? Actually, this is, okay, I think I need to skip. Actually, when I look at the worldwide, this is, you know, who is this? Yeah, Hawking. He is expert in physics. He has a lot of disability. But UK have a very good system to educate him. That's why he become a world famous physicist. And then actually he cannot see eye problem, but he become the president of good university, very famous university in Korea. Actually, he's a friend of George Bush. Actually, he is a role model for the student with the disabilities. Thus, we need to look at the possibility when we provide good opportunity for people with disability, we can see real expert, real contribution from them. Okay, and then future direction of technology development for PWD. Actually, we can see artificial intelligence, right? Now getting into artificial intelligence. Right now, everything. This is very important for the national development, and then next one will go artificial sight, artificial hearing, artificial sense, artificial muscle, artificial skin, artificial arm, artificial organ. And what we will have more, then we can have all the disabled students or people with this technology. That's why technology people, they develop this new devices, new product. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kim. Now, moving on to our next speaker, let us hear what Puan Molin is going to share with us her views on the topic of the possibilities and existing support systems for the disadvantaged groups in the Malaysian employment sector. Please give a hand of applause to Puan Molin.
Thank you, Salmi. Assalamualaikum, good morning. Okay, I don't have any presentation like Dr. Kim. However, we'll share some insights based on our experience making or doing our part in terms of increasing the workforce of persons with disability or PWD is a new initiative for us, or we reinforced our initiative this year, and even though our diversity, equity and inclusivity policies have been in place since 2013. Yeah, so DEI is not new for us in the bank, I think in the industries as well. However, this year we are increasing in terms of our efforts in extending that to PWD, increasing our PWD workforce. So in terms of benchmarking, while we are preparing for that, in terms of benchmarking, we do look at countries that have really done well in this or has been far ahead in terms of us. For example, in the US 20% of their workforce is from disability or persons with disability. That is very, very far ahead from us. They have looked into accessibility, accommodation, and their policies in terms of PWD initiatives. For us in Malaysia, as Hajar Salmi mentioned, from the data, it shows that about 4.89 million or about 4.8 million of our workforce are disabled, okay, or PWDs. And that is about 15 to 16% of our total population. So this is a segment that we can't ignore. We feel that there's a lot of things that we can do as an industry, and even the government has set the target of 1% of the workforce of civil servants to be PWD talents. However, as of from what we understand from the statistic, as of September 2022 or 2022 statistic, about the status now is at 0.3% of the population or of the civil service workforce population. And government also had set this target in 2018, where at least 3 of the ministries of the government to achieve that 1%. But we are proud to share that only Ministry of Women, Family and Community Development achieve above 1.7%. Really reinforce the diversity and inclusivity, okay, of that ministry. They are at 1.5%, 1.7%, and the rest overall is 0.3%. So in terms of our country, there's a lot more things we can do. So as an industry, we are answering to the call. What we do this year is that we have set ourselves a target, 1.5% of our total workforce to be of persons with disability. We are still in progress. I'm not saying that we are there. Okay, it's something that we are still working on. A lot of things that we are currently putting in place in terms of reaching the goal. Our aim is by the end of this year for us to reach that 1.5%, and we are close to achieving that. Yeah. So later during the Q&A, I can answer more questions on that. But in developing or preparing ourselves to achieve that, we look at we benchmark companies that have already put this in place. In Malaysia in 2019, Flex Malaysia was awarded PWD friendly company, okay, where they hired 200 or over 200 PWD talents, and most of them are hearing impaired, other hearing disability. So what they do is that they have buddy system, and then they train more people to in sign language, so that as employees or colleagues, you are able to communicate better, okay, with our disabled colleagues. And they also have a specific training that they put in place in terms of preparing the readiness of the line managers to host the PW talents, as well as a lot of communication, awareness, and also communication awareness, as well as making having a center in place where PWD talents can reach out whenever they need help or have questions, okay? We also benchmark against Microsoft. So what Microsoft did is that while they don't just look at technical, how to address the technical difficulties. What they do is that they create positions that is friendly to disabled people. For example, autistic people, what they do, or people with autism, what they do is they create job responsibility where it is friendly to autism people, repetitive type of position, data entry type of position for other specific disability, and then they hire to address to accommodate. Okay, they hire people with disability to specific position that can accommodate them. Yeah, so that that's one way of industry can do in terms of supporting and increasing the employability of the disabled talents. Also, technology, like Dr. Kim mentioned just now. Now, more and more technology to support disabled talents, for example, speech recognition program and braille keyboards, and screen readers. We have, put that in place in terms of accommodating our PWD talents, and this is what we have to continually be aware of, so that we can bring more and more disabled talents in place. So that is where we are at this point of time. We are working towards it. We are setting up councils to oversee what are our initiatives. One important thing is partnership. So, in doing this, we can't do it alone. So we partner with TVET, we partner with Polytechnic, JPPKK, Polytechnic and Community Colleges, Ministry of Higher Education, Ministry of Education, all the universities, okay, for us to, the channel of the talents are from the universities. So, we work with the universities for us to get, for us to do outreach programs, do workshops on campus, and do recruitment drive on campus to bring in the PWD talents, as well as the alumni who are PWD but still looking for a job. Yeah, I will share more about what are our programs later. Yeah, so basically that's how we feel the industry can do more lah. It's just at 0.3% now for civil servant. Private, we don't have the data yet, but for us, our personal goal is, company goal is 1.5% of the total workforce, which we feel that is aligned to the what the government is calling us as a nation to reach that. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you very much, Puan Marlene. Now let's continue with our third speaker, technologist Tuan Haji Romzi bin Mamat, who will be talking about empowering persons with disabilities, PWDs in Malaysia, government initiatives and the way forward. So please welcome technologist Tuan Haji Romzi.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, salam Malaysia Madani. Very good morning to everyone on stage and on the floor. Thank you, Madam Moderator, Dr. Salmi, Puan Marlene Nordin, Executive Vice President from Maybank, and Dr. Kim from TVET. You are so familiar with the Malaysian situation right now. And then I'd like to say my deepest gratitude to everyone here on the floor coming here to this symposium, TVET Symposium 2023. And the title given to me is Empowering Persons with Disabilities in Malaysia, and Government Initiative and Way Forward to the Country, particularly in the purview of Ministry of Education, Department of Polytechnic and Community College Education. And I go through the slide. I think there are a few slides here. And looking at these slides, you can see how serious the ministry is in dealing with PWDs. And this is excerpt we take from the conclusion of the Parliament session on the 18th of September 2023. We see TVET programs at the Polytechnic under the KPT provides special entry route for the B40 PWDs and Orang Asli groups. And this is the one that when you see it on the right side of the slides, the strategy to enhance the TVET enrollment into TVET program under the KPT, to increase the number of programs, and then the access of PWDs entering the programs, and the programs at Polytechnic under the KPT must provide special entry. So this is the one, that's my introduction that we can share this morning. And I try to go as fast as I can, because I sometimes got distracted with the timer back there. It keeps running and running, but I try. You see, the facts is, people with these abilities or PWDs are facing various challenges when we talk about inclusion, accessibility, and of course empowerment. So efforts by the ministry so far, particularly in the government. So the first one is Person with Disability Act 2008, and of course second one is education, enhanced educational opportunities in inclusive education. And the third one, the employment incentive for employers to hire PWDs. And the fourth one, the accessibility, upgrade public transport and infrastructure to support. And then, of course, the last one, the Plan Tindakan Orang Upaya, PT OKU 2016-2022, third pillars, improving access for disabled persons to education. And later on, we can elaborate on this. When we say, we look at these facts and figures of what is happening at PolyCC right now, there are numbers of programs offered at Polytechnic level. Current, we have like 12 programs offering at Polytechnic, and then 56 program community colleges, which involve the PWDs, which total up to 68 programs. And then enrollment from 2020 until 2023, you can see there is 600 students for Polytechnic and 599 students, and altogether we are 1,199 students altogether in the system. And the graduates so far is 1,609 since 2006. And then we also have Tahfiz skill at PolyCC, 48,000 participants enrolling. And then TVET for Orang Asli at PolyCC covers 2 programs, one at the Polytechnic and the other one's at Community College. And of course, GE for PWDs, we also have the figure of this. For Polytechnic, it's 94.7, the figure from 2018 to 2020, and 96.1, 2018 to 2020. So not bad. We are doing something quite seriously on this, and of course, we always address the PWDs needs in the system. So when it comes to the plan for what is going to happen in the future, developing the education development plan for the PWDs, DPCCE, we always looking forward to or doing something on. First one is strengthening the governance, of course. This is the number one. The governance must be strengthened, must be enhanced, must be consolidated so that it will accommodate the requirement of PWDs. And of course, the second one is expanding access to education. The one that you see on the previous slides, how it was addressed in the parliament. And then the empowerment of workers, particularly concerning the PWD workers, and strengthening the quality of education, of course. We are required to get some endorsement, accreditation from the body so that the education, the system for PWDs in our system will be recognized. And the last one, strengthening facilities and support system for PWDs. This is very important. Dr. Kim and Puan Malin also talk about this, how we can provide relevant infrastructures for PWDs. And this is very important. And our transformation plan, which will be running from 2023 to 2027, we are now in the midst of establishing a new transformational plan for Poly. At the Polytechnic level, you see TVET institution that produce competent industry-relevant graduates and able to earn premium income. And for community college, TVET institution that acts as the drivers for development, sustainable community. And of course, in the end, we have TVET system and relevant, dynamic, and capable vocational contribute to human development in line with the goals of Malaysia Madani. So this is our target, our aspiration, so that in the end, by the year 2027, we hope to achieve the one that we always aspire to making Polytechnics and Community College the leading TVET institution who played major role in achieving the idea of Malaysia Madani. So I cannot elaborate more on this because we are catching up with time. And in terms of the money spent on the infrastructure and the staff competency, this is one of the physical elements that we always taking interest into. We spent 4 million ringgit upgrading facilities for PWDs, which covers 24 institutions. And the project has been completed already, and we want to say thank you so much to the ministry for giving us the money for the institution to upgrade some of the facilities so that it can complement the needs for the PWDs. And then the development of new institution takes into account the basic needs of the PWD facilities. This is required under the JKR ruling, building law, that new CCE or new institution under the ministry or under the government must comply with the requirement for PWDs. It will cover also the access to the campus, the ramp, the toilets and everything, the elevators, the lift. And then 50,000 for existing institution. This is for immediate budget for infrastructure, for maintenance and everything. And last one, we're upgrading lecturers through skilling and upskilling in the field of disabled teaching. And so far, 30 lecturers we target for this program, and hopefully we can have some manpower really capable of dealing with PWDs in the institution. Okay. So the GALUS program, this is our new initiative when we come to dealing with PWDs. The Johor State Polytechnic pilot project, we want to thank you, Johor, the Polytechnic and Community College at Johor, will be kicking off in next year, 2024, and this is a pilot project by Johor Polytechnic. And this program proposed for the SPM candidates who did not pass the main subjects in SPM, and also they are unable to continue the studies, to studies or to go for work. Then we take this group of people. If I'm not mistaken, it's about 50,000 numbers involved in the program, but we are going to implement that in stages. And we will base on the industry needs to increase a local workforce based on the one that we designed earlier. And I think this should be the last one. So I'll go back for this. I have some other highlight, if I may, when it comes to, hang on, give me 1 minute to tell me. I'm looking for our PSH, continuing learning education. This is a lifelong learning at community college, and we also take into account the needs for PWDs to enroll in our lifelong learning programs as well. So when we say that education is for all, it means that it is for everyone, no matter you are not capable of physically or mentally, but there is always a way or room for this group to come and join us, to be given the equal opportunities for education, particularly in the TVET education. So, thank you.
All right, we have listened to what our three panels have shared their invaluable insights on the topic given. So I think I have a few questions that I would like to ask the panel. So let me start with Dr. Kim. Kim, you mentioned just now, based on the employment rate that you mentioned, based on the graph that you shared with us just now, it has shown an increase from 2015 to 2019, yeah? So is it related to the policy being introduced by the Korean government that has helped the rate of GE of PWDs? And if that is so, may we know which area the PWDs have secured the jobs, whether it's in the technical or non-technical sector?
Okay, actually the employment rate, the policy also very important factor, but also economy. At the time, the Korean economy is booming at the time. That's why the employment rate is a little bit higher. But when you look at the employment rate in my slide, maybe you are surprised because it's only 50% around, and then the high school graduate only 20% around. Because when we assess the employment rate, Korean government is very strict. When they are fully employed, that means then when they have the employment insurance cover, then we count this is employed. The small, that means casual job or small job is eliminated. There's a fully employed people, we count the employment, we count for the employment rate. Actually, right now, more PWD person, PWD, they have job at the technology sector. That's why the most of the training focusing on the technology, because in technology, in traditional workplace, very difficult to adapt because they use all the body and then work environment is not friendly. But in the technology program, for example, software designer, software developer, actually some PWD, they are very good, very strong because they concentrate on the skill development, software. The technology do not discriminate. Yeah, PWD. And then drone, for example. Drone is now is booming in agriculture, in geography, all the tourism. They're using a lot of the drone. Sooner or later, we will have the drone taxi. Yeah, drone. They can control drone everything in the workplace with the computer and then the controller. That is another things. And then military also. In military, right now, it's an automized military. We don't need the big, the people with the strength and the muscle work. Thus now military hiring some disabled PWD because they working on radar and all the technology devices. That is another trend we need to look at. There's some. Even some, I heard there are one software developing institute. More than 50% they have PWD. But their performance, job performance, very, very satisfying the employer. That's why I'm talking about so many about the technology. Yeah, technology is a key. Right now we have disability. Actually, I have artificial teeth. Yeah, this is disability. Yeah, sometimes I need glasses. I have eye disability. Because when you have more technology, wearable technology and application of this, then they, PWD can overcome their disability and all the challenges. Because we need to look at the possibility of these things. Right now, Samsung Electronics, I heard, they can connect the memory chip to their brain directly. Then you can improve your memory skill, not just memory skill, cognitive skill also. Thus, this is another thing. As you mentioned, about 10% have some kind of cognitive issue. Thus, this is another possibility. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Kim. Now, moving on to our next speaker, Puan Marlene. You mentioned just now that at the moment, the banking sector is focusing like 1.5% for the employees to be from the PWDs. Now, what would be your response to the perception and the attitude of employers and colleagues towards individuals with disabilities in the TVET workforce evolve as a result of policy implementation, specifically in the banking sector?
Okay, so firstly, I just want to comment to Dr. Kim. I think I need to get that Samsung chip to increase my memory and cognitive. I think all of us can do with that. Anyway, I'm a Samsung also fan. All my devices Samsung. Okay, so basically in terms of that 1.5%, I just want to clarify that it is a Maybank target. It's not the overall banking industry, even though I would encourage our banking peers to also go for it. Okay, in terms of you mentioned perception and then stigma. Yes, actually, there is a challenge for our PWD talents in terms of going for interviews, applying for job. Okay, even though I don't have the data for private industry or banking industry for itself, we do refer to civil service data from Suruhanjaya Perkhidmatan Awam, where in 2022, 3,777 applicants are from PWD talents. So out of that, actually only 468 were called for interview. Okay, and out of that, only 70 of them gets hired to the job. So actually, I think that would reflect also in private sector where, especially when they declare that they have some sort of disability, chances of getting to the interview is already a challenge for them. Okay, so there is, I have to admit that actually, or we have to admit, or we have to acknowledge that there is a challenge for our PWD talents out there. So we need to, so as an employer, this is what we're also trying to address. And when we talk to PWD talents, when we go to our university campus tours, they do inform us that, they try when they put a disability in their CV, they don't get called for interview. When they remove it, they will be called. So this is something that, we feel that something that as employers we have to, especially if you're committed to diversity and inclusivity or DEI, we have to put that aside. And even yang kita, all of us yang don't have disability, have the challenge where 50% chance of getting interviewed, and then what more our workforce that have disability. So we have to do our part in terms of helping them get across, to being interviewed. So for us, raising the awareness to our colleagues in terms of how to host people with disability. Some people not that there is they are scared that how to manage. They are afraid that they say the wrong things. So that is something that we are doing workshops to our line managers in terms of assuring them that it is not a very difficult thing, and it has to be a two-way efforts from the line managers as well as the PWD talents, and also making sure that our environment is also friendly to PWD talents. We have to admit that currently, in terms of was mentioned before, infrastructure, that is something we also need to work on. Our buildings, they were built like in the 80s, current building. So in terms of accessibility, in terms of even toilets for PWD, we have very limited accommodations for that. Yeah, so that is something in our planning now in moving to a new building. Specific action that we are doing in terms of how to make our overall workplace very friendly to PWD. So in planning new office, we can do that. In our existing office, we can do a bit of adjustments. Yeah, so increasing workforce of PWD, sometimes, you know, it's not the PWD person that cannot work. It is the society that is not friendly, or, you know, infrastructure not friendly for them to accommodate. For example, staircase to the office, you know, simple things like that. Actually, our Menara Maybank, we do have a ramp that we put in place, but the ramp is also like, you know, when we start hiring PWDs, they say, hey, your ramp actually is like so tinggi, so steep, you know, it's like, it's not very conducive. So we are learning. Yeah, the ramp is like, you know, so too steep for, yeah, very there. Now it become dangerous in terms of safety. So we have to, awareness is one thing lah. That is currently our big agenda, to increase the awareness of our people. Yeah, to work with our PWD colleagues. Yeah.
Thank you, Parmalu. We are happy to hear that Maybank has taken steps in terms of accommodating our PWD employees, as well as looking at the infra that are currently being used. All right, moving on to our next speaker, Technologist Tuan Haji Romzi. Just now you mentioned that the Department of Polytechnic and Community Colleges, they have several strategies in order to help the inclusion of the PWDs. Now, can you please share with us, how can the micro-credentials be tailored to meet the diverse needs and abilities of individuals with disabilities, taking into account the various disabilities and learning styles that they have?
Okay. Thank you, Madam. Very tough question, but okay, we try. Our department has undertaken one, I think, a big initiative when it comes to simplifying the mode of studies, the program style and everything, which covers one of the initiatives is offering the micro-credential. And this is a huge step for us, because we haven't started not until May this year, that, you know, the talk on having designed the micro-credential courses, which can be translated into one qualification. And it has to be flexible enough so that anybody can enter the program, can enter the micro-credential modules. So at the moment, we have 3 programs which are undergoing micro-credential design in terms of curriculum requirement. This is a hair grooming certificate, a fashion and apparel certificate, and building construction technology. The 3 programs are currently running at Community College, and these 3 programs involve 42 call it courses, which covers 119 modules. So you can see the 190 modules are going to be converted into micro-credentials, so that at the moment we are designing the modules, the micro-credential modules, only for the normal students. But there is always room at the moment which also covers PWD students with disability. So I think that it is new to us, but we are going to for it really seriously, and this is what required, also stated in the transformational plan for Polytechnic and community college. So yeah, we are doing okay. I think by next year, we are going to run our first micro-credential so that everyone can enter the program, and please pray hard so that everything will be in place. Thank you.
Okay, right. Okay, the battery is gone. Next, perhaps we can open it to the floor if there are any participants here who would like to have more clarifications on the topics that we have discussed. If you do, please, you can raise a question, yes. And please state your name and also your affiliation. Can we have that gentleman over there,
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi, very good morning everyone. I suppose it's the morning, right? So my name is Muhammad Sazali Sha'ari, a representative from NGO, Malaysian Federation of the Deaf. So I myself is a deaf person. And what I wanted to relate to what have been actually explained and shared by panel. Beforehand, let me just clear the air. I'm actually using my sign language interpreter's voice. So I would like to actually inform here to all the audience and also the panelists that it has been a very interesting sharing. And also, maybe as an additional points that I wanted to add is like, the needs for our category is actually communication accessibility. So for a deaf person, we actually can do, we can do all other things that you want us to do, but communication and information accessibility would be the requirement for us. That's a major area. So if, let's say, there are other jobs that could actually give us the opportunity to be at higher ranking position, we can do it, provided you make it accessible for us. Because if at a very lower level, we try to communicate, we try to extend information, and there's always miscommunication. And also, we have a different background for education. There are some of us who could read and write well. There are some who could actually communicate well. So we just would like to seek for that patient of, the officer concerned. So the example shared from Korea, Dr. Kim, it was truly exciting, and I find it that what needed most is like, the skill count most, for us. It's like, yes, we can actually have that skill. We can possess that skill, provided the accessibility is appropriate for us. So just one question also I'd just like to add. If the TVET program, the terminology used for TVET, it's rather a bit long, we were to look at it. It's like, we sometimes wondering what TVET is all about. Are we targeting to specific area? But how could you actually include, as I mentioned, that perhaps maybe the opportunity or the role to actually take up by higher learning institution to make sure that accessibility could be achieved for our target group by learning sign language, and also by us assisting universities or the TVET institution or even the research institution to come out with the vocabulary as much needed for TVET area of concern. But I'm not sure if in Korea there is such a thing that, where the sign language could be referred in a dictionary or other forms of books or anything. And also, it's during practical. So, when you send students to do their internship, there's also ways to work it on with, it's always good for the business or the industry to work, hand in hand with the stakeholders. Thank you so much for your attention.
Okay, perhaps we can ask Technologist Tuan Haji Romzi first to share with us whether we do have opportunities provided by the TVET itself, for example, in terms of learning sign language, so that they have also the opportunities to come and join us, perhaps during as early as the internship. Yeah, Tuan Haji?
Yeah, thank you so much for the question. Well, it's really concerned with TVET education as well. And as I mentioned earlier in the slides, we are offering 68 programs, and of course this program can be elaborated, can be extended to many more programs coming in. And we always welcome or open the door to PWDs to come in. We provide relevant infrastructure pertaining to the requirement of the PWDs. As I mentioned earlier, we provide some money on that. So there are always ways to upgrade or increase or enhance the infrastructure's capability so that can accommodate the PWD's requirement in the system. And at the same time, we can promote the program as well. Promote in the sense of so that the public will become aware that these people need special access to join the system. And of course, we need to talk to MQA or MBOT, Malaysia Board of Technologists, to recognize the program, to accredit the program, so that the graduates from this special program will be recognized by the society, by the public, by the government, or by the private sectors. So this is the one that we are trying, and we always provide rooms for skill enhancement for the lecturers involving the PWDs, teaching and learning. So far, as I outlined earlier, as I showed earlier in the slides, this thing has been debated in the parliament by our ministers, and we at the ministry and department level, we try to accommodate. We are doing the best that we can in policy making, in providing the budget and training as well. Thank you.
Dr. Kim, can you share with us whether do you have the same context that happened when our audience just now mentioned about the communication disability, do you have that kind of context in Korea?
Yeah, actually, I think communication issue is very essential for the PWD. And right now, the digital skill is very important to get over communication challenges. Right now, the technology remove all the language barriers. Yeah, spontaneous translation, machine translation available. At the same time, when PWD learn how to use some digital skill, they can have more access, more easy to communicate in any others. Thus, I think one of the Polytechnic would like to start one of the program to develop, to customizing some digital skill or digital devices to help the PWD in communication and the other access. That is another thing. Right now, I think your Polytechnic is in transition because of the fourth industrial revolution, demand change, and the other things. I think that is one of the possibility. In Korea, so many startups, they are focusing on disability. How to help disability. That is a very, not just a humanitarian purpose, but also technology development, very important, especially social acceptance. When they use more technology, society do not accept sometimes. But when we apply the technology for this PWD, society will accept technology better.
Okay, just want to add a bit as well on top of Dr. Kim. for us, we are also getting more tools and technologies to assist and facilitate in terms of communication. We have hired trainees who have hearing impaired as well as speech impaired. So we are learning, okay, and from there we will, see how we can do better, because we keep on getting feedback from them. How are we doing? What we can do better in terms of assisting them. One of the things that we are doing is also, or have done, is we are hiring a person to train our staff on sign language. Okay, so we will have a permanent person who will train our staff gradually. More and more line managers will be able to communicate in sign language with the trainees that we bring on, or the people that we bring on with the disability. Thanks.
Oh, we are happy to hear that the Maybank has taken that particular steps, to help our PWDs. All right, okay, I wish I could have more time for the questions from the floor, but unfortunately, we have to stop our session. We have, because today is Friday. We have other programs after this. I've been given cues. Right, okay, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a very enlightening discussion indeed, and I'm sure we all hope that we could have more time to discuss this interesting session. Okay. What we can summarize here is that Disability Inclusive TVET agenda acknowledges the rights of PWDs to participate in training and vocational programs, thus necessitating removing of barriers to access and transforming discriminatory attitudes and behaviors towards PWDs. This would also ensure that no one is left behind, employability is maintained, and businesses can recover promptly from the pandemic crisis. And it is also hoped that with the inclusion of trainees with disabilities in these programs, TVET system can enhance the productivity and earnings of the disabled workers. With that, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you once again to Dr. Salmi as the moderator, and also for all our panelists for the lively talk during the town hall session. Yes, we wish we have more time. Yes, it has been very engaging and also educating, I must say. Now, this goes without saying. Shall we go for a group photo session? Can we have the photographers? Thank you so much. Oh, too formal, they said. Too formal. Mini love, come on, Dr. Yang. You can do this. All right, once again, thank you so much for the moderator and also our panelists. We would like, therefore, to invite all of our panelists to a holding room for a quick break. With that, members of the floor, we are moving forward for our next agenda, which is the breakout room session. Now, bear in mind that the breakout room session will commence until 11:45 a.m. with 3 breakout rooms commencing simultaneously. Now, attention to all participants. As we begin the breakout rooms, please enter the designated breakout rooms according to the color of your lanyard. I can see there are some who has purple color and there are some who has pink colors. Now, that color symbolize or corresponded directly to the specific breakout rooms. Kindly refer to the PIC station at each location for further information or guidance. They will assist you in finding the appropriate room and provide any additional details you may need, just in case you are lost. Thank you for your cooperation, and we look forward to productive and engaging breakout room session. We'll see you this afternoon for a closing ceremony. Thank you so much, everyone.